Approved amendments to the Nevis Business Corporation Ordinance removed all references to bearer shares and outlawed it as a means of tightening the regulatory environment in the financial services sector on Nevis. Other amendments sought to modernize the handling and acceptance of electronic documents, filings, and signatures in a sector that is growing and contributing millions of dollars to the Nevis economy, said Premier Mark Brantley, Minister of Finance in the Nevis Island Administration. In making his presentation during the 24th August sitting of the Nevis Island Assembly, Brantley explained why it was important to remove bearer shares from the business landscape on Nevis, and especially for the financial services sector.
There has been an ongoing debate, Madam President, as to whether countries, jurisdictions should allow bearer shares. Bearer shares, so that the public understands. There are many lawyers in the room, so I know they would understand already. But for those who may not be lawyers or may not have had contact with the industry, and generally for the public, that bearer shares basically say that the shares belong to the bearer of those shares. And so there is not necessarily anybody's name on that share certificate. That share certificate doesn't say that it belongs to Mark Brantley, for example. It will merely say that it belongs to the bearer. Now, it is an excellent instrument in terms of ease of doing business. It is also potentially a dangerous instrument because unlike registered shares, which have a name attached to them and move in a particular way, where, for example, there has to be a record kept of that share moving from person A to person B. Bearer shares are, as I said, owned by the bearer. And so it means that a bearer share can simply be delivered from person A to person B. And it renders it difficult to monitor from a regulatory point of view. Now, some years ago, Nevis took the position that we would not abolish bearer shares. Rather, we would seek to immobilize them. And the position that was taken then was that while we continued to allow bearer shares, those bearer shares had to be in the possession of an authorized custodian. And that way, we felt it would prevent the free transfer of the ownership of a company, as was hitherto the case. We have now, upon reflection and upon changes being made in the landscape, and as the industry evolves, come to the view that it is now time to outlaw bearer shares altogether and to remove the provisions in our law that allow for bearer shares.
According to Brantley, further inputs into the sector will include better marketing and promotion of the sector. Glenn Barth reporting for SK Newsline.